So, good evening, guys. So, we'll be talking about motion graphics and motion design and interaction design in Figma. So, I guess this is not new to majority of us. And so, the basic thing that I think you should know about, that I think you should know about interactive and motion designers, you need to have an initial state and the ending state. Okay, so between the initial state and the ending state, you can now do all your scenario. You can now do your you can now do your motion. You can move your the position of your object. You can move. You can reduce the size. You can add opacity. You can add color. Whatever style that you wish to apply to your motion design. Okay, that is what is going to be between the initial state and the ending state. Okay, now that is why it is very important that you know how to use not know how to use component, but at least you should have at least 50% knowledge about what component is. If you are working with Figma, component is going to help you organize your state in a way that is not going to look complex. But if you are going to use After Effects, okay, After Effects you don't need component. All you just need is layers and you need to make sure that your timing, I mean your timing is probably 99% perfect or 100% perfect. Yeah, so the button, I don't know, I'm going to use this button that I designed, that I posted on Twitter. I'm going to use it as a case of study, okay? And I will see how far down. Okay, let's just go straight to the design. So let me draw a frame to depict a button and something like that. Chroma. Okay, I'm going to fill up with black. Yeah, so this is the first state of the button. Okay. Let's Now this is the button. Okay. Now the field that was moving around inside the button. Now this is what I did. Now you draw a cycle somewhere around here. Let's fill it up with probably blue or something. Let's do blue. Okay, so I'm going to blow it, add an effect to it, then I'm going to blow it, say somewhere around 24. Yeah, somewhere around here. And the second state is when it is when I am not hovering on this particular circle. So I'm going to remove the field. I'm going to remove the block. So I have two states of this particular cycle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a component set. So when I create the component set, so what I want to do is I want to prototype with that. When this is like the first state of the button. I mean you are not hovering on the button, nothing is showing on the button. The only thing that is showing on the button is this particular state. I mean there is nothing, you don't have the strokes and all of those things. Yes, so are you guys hearing me?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Thank you. So this is like the first state of the circle, and this is like the second state of the circle. So what I will do now is I will prototype this first state, this empty state into this, and say when my mouse enters, or yeah, when my mouse enters, or while hovering. So I'll just do when mouse enters. Okay. So it's going to be smart and animate. Then let's say 300 milliseconds. Okay. Now this one is going to go back to this empty state. I'm saying when my mouse leaves. So that makes it that when my mouse leaves this particular cycle, it's going back to this one. Let's do about say 1, 2. You can just walk around. You can walk around the animations and all. So I don't have time. So I don't want to dig deep into that. Yeah. So we already have our two states of this cycle. So what we are going to do next is this particular button. Let's call this button state one or state one. State one. Yeah. So we can duplicate this button. When you remove this button inside it, you remove the fill, then you bring this empty state out. You just copy it. I don't know if people understand that if they're watching the video. So I can just put my assets, then then a minute, empty, here, page 2. Okay, the empty is not yourself. Okay, yeah, it's going to be there. So you just copy it out, then you choose the state, empty. Okay. Now you drop it inside this frame. Now I am trying as much as possible not to use contour layout here, because contour layout is not going to it's going to make sense here, but nested frame afford us functionalities that are not so rigid like like contour layout. So I'm just going to use the nested frame. So this cycle, let me just reduce the size a bit. See somewhere around here. I want it to be able to control to here. Okay, nice. So I'll just move it back. Then I can copy. Please guys, I hope you understand what I'm doing.
Yes, yes, I understand.
Okay, so please if you have any questions you can just tell me to stop, and you can ask a question, I'll try to answer. So what I did basically was that particular cycle that we did, okay, I copied it out, then I pasted it on this frame, this button frame that I duplicated. Then I'm trying to fit the cycle inside the frame. Okay, so I can
Sorry,
yeah, wait, so
yeah, so I have one in an account like of it. Like if you can add like temporary stroke around the initial progress that I'm following to at least see what is happening inside out.
okay,
Yes.
okay, so like this.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Okay, yeah. Thank you very much. So this is so if I click on this here and I change this field, you see that it is filled, but we are working with the empty state for now. Okay. So we could have done this and duplicated this particular state, then change it to the field. But since we are already working with this particular component, I mean it's going to automatically work. Let's continue. Let's continue. Yes, so don't worry. Yeah. So this is the state of the button that when you hover on this stuff here, it's going to it's going to give the feel whereby it interact between the empty state of this cycle to the fill state, and when you take off your mouse, it's going to go back to the empty state. So this particular button, you duplicate it. Then this is going to be the original, the first state. Now you duplicate it. Then you have your stroke. The stroke should be here too. The stroke should be here, but it will not be visible. You turn it off. So let's say stroke for the, the it's not compulsory you use my star actually. You can use your own star and stuff like that. Yes, so this is the first state. Then it's going to be you turn it off, you turn the stroke off, you make it zero. You can probably make it zero or you turn it off. So I'm just going to turn it off here. Let's turn it off here. The first state, turn it off here. So the second state, just duplicate it here. Come it around. So same step, you component set, then all of those interactions that we do. So after delay one, after delay one, after delay one, after delay one, then go back. It goes back to the second state. Okay. Or let's say it goes back to the first state. So you say after delay 1 millisecond. Yeah, right. So in a situation whereby when the mouse is on this particular button, what should happen? Okay, the stroke should go off. So you say you go to the second one, you say mouse off, mouse leave. Okay, same to this other. You say mouse leave, mouse leave. Same to this, you say mouse leave. Same to this one, you can go back and say mouse leave. So we have our button already. Okay. So I'm just going to copy the button with the stroke and the one with the state. Okay. You just put it on each other. If you put the cycle with the fill and empty state into the button with the strokes, it is not going to work. Okay, so I figure that let us have two buttons. Okay, so the first button is going to have the button, the fill, and the stroke. The second one is going to have the the um the the cycle and the empty state. So just put it in each other, then define it. Okay, so I'm just going to have a frame that will put the button in. So something like so. Then put this frame inside it. for a minute. I really do not know why. Maybe it's because of the browser. You can see that it is. You can see the stroke that is moving. So I honestly do not know why. I don't know what's up with the
So
browser.
it's working for me.
Okay, it's working on your
Is it
side.
okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's working on my side.
Wait, is that field part is it working too?
No, the few part is not working, but
Try it now. Try it now.
it's working now.
The field is working.
Everything is working. Yeah.
Okay, can you share your screen with us, please? Share your screen with us.
Actually,
I don't know. No, this is so frustrating. Yeah.
Yeah.
this is how it's supposed to work.
Yeah, take off your mouse. So the stroke is working without the mouse being on the button. So let's fix that. Did you get that?
Yes.
The stroke is supposed to come on when the mouse
When your mouse
when your mouse enters. So
So I guess I will stop sharing my screen so that I
yeah.
can
Okay, yes, please. Yes, so the interaction between this one is not delayed. It's supposed to be a mouse enter. Yeah, exactly. So you can try it now. Let me you can try it now. Restart it.
Yeah. So this is
Yeah. So exactly. Exactly. So you can tweak the prototype setting whereby the cycles and the empty state are known. They interact so seamlessly that you don't have to take time before it disappears. Chicken. So I don't know if you guys got what I did. So if you have any questions, please. So like Quindar is saying to clarify, the first one is the one without the visible stroke here. Exactly. Yes, that's the first state of this particular button with the stroke. We did two button sizes. So the first one is the one with the stroke, the fill, and the button text, the button text here. And the second one is the one with this cycle that is disappearing when you leave it and all of these things. Yeah, so for the button with the fill and the text, now, the first state is going to have the button, the stroke, where it is going to start from, but it's not going to be visible. So you can either turn it off or you can change the opacity to zero. Then the next state is where the button, the stroke is starting from. Okay, now you're now going to do separate state of the stroke where they are moving around the corner. Do you get? So when you do all of those things, you turn it to your component set, then you have your prototype settings, the after delay, the mouse enter, the mouse leave, and all of these things. Yeah, and the second button is where we have the cycle, the fill, and the empty state. So what you now do is you put both buttons together. The reason why it did not work initially was because the frame with the cycle was on top of button text layer. Do you get? So what you have to do is put it below you have to put it below the button text with the stroke, so it's not going to work perfectly. So you now put the two of them in a frame, then you can now put the type and it's going to work perfectly well. So if any one of you have any question, I'll be glad to answer them.
I don't have questions. Does anybody have questions? Thank you so much, Pamilerin. Questions, anybody?